So since that time, people in both our countries have asked, what's next? How can we build on this progress and realize the full potential of our partnership? That's what I want to address today, the future that the United States seeks in an interconnected world. And why I believe that India is indispensable to this vision, how we can forge a truly global partnership not just in one or two areas. But across many, not just for our mutual benefit, but for the benefit of the world. Of course, only Indians can determine India's national interests and how to advance them on the world stage. But I stand before you today because I am convinced that the interests of the United States and the interests we share with India are best advanced in partnership. I believe that the United States seeks security, the security of our country, our allies, and partners. We seek prosperity. A strong and growing economy in an open international economic system. We seek respect for universal values. And we seek a just and sustainable international order that promotes peace. And security by meeting global challenges through stronger global cooperation. Now, to advance these interests, I have committed the United States to comprehensive engagement with the world, based on mutual interest and mutual respect. And a central pillar of this engagement is forging deeper cooperation with '21st-century centers of influence, and that must necessarily include India. Now, India is not the only emerging power in the world. but relationships between our countries is unique. For we are two strong democracies whose constitutions begin with the same. Revolutionary words, the same revolutionary words, we the people. We are two great republics dedicated to the liberty and justice and equality of all people. And we are two free market economies where people have the freedom to pursue ideas and innovation that can change the world. And that's why I believe that India and America are indispensable partners in meeting the challenges of our time. Since taking office, I've, therefore, made our relationship a priority. I was proud to welcome Prime Minister Singh for the first official state visit of my presidency. For the first time ever, our governments are working together. Across the whole range of common challenges that we face. Now, let me say it as clearly as I can, the United States not only welcomes India as a rising global power. We fervently support it, and we have worked to help make it a reality. Together with our partners, we have made the G20 the premier forum for international economic cooperation. Bringing more voices to the table of global economic decision-making, and that has included India. We've increased the role of emerging economies like India at international financial institutions. We valued India's important role at Copenhagen, where, for the first time, all major economies committed to take action to confront climate change and to stand by those actions. We salute India's long history as a leading contributor to United Nations peacekeeping missions. And we welcome India as it prepares to take its seat on the United Nations Security Council. In short, with India assuming its rightful place in the world, we have an historic opportunity to make the relationship between our two countries a defining partnership of the century ahead. And I believe we can do so by working together in three important areas. First, as global partners we can promote prosperity in both our countries. Together, we can create the high-tech, high-wage jobs of the future. With my visit, we are now ready to begin implementing our civil nuclear agreement. This will help meet India's growing energy needs and create thousands of jobs in both of our countries. We need to forge partnerships in high-tech sectors like defense and civil space. So we've removed Indian organizations from our so-called entity. List. And we'll work to remove and reform our controls on exports. Both of these steps will ensure that Indian companies seeking high-tech trade and technologies from America are treated the same as our very closest allies and partners. We can pursue joint research and development to create green jobs, give India more access to cleaner affordable energy, meet the commitments we made at Copenhagen, and show the possibilities of low-carbon growth. And together, we can resist the protectionism that stifles growth and innovation. The United States remains and will continue to remain one of the most open economies in the world. And by opening markets and reducing barriers to foreign investment. India can realize its full economic potential as well. As G20 partners, we can make sure the global economic recovery is strong and is durable. And we can keep striving for a Doha round that is ambitious and is balanced with the courage to make the compromises that are necessary so global trade works for all economies. Together, we can strengthen agriculture. Cooperation between Indian and American researchers and scientists sparked the Green Revolution. Today, India is a leader in using technology to empower farmers. Like those I met yesterday who get free updates on market and weather conditions on their cell phones. And the United States is a leader in agricultural productivity and research. Now, as farmers and rural areas face the effects of climate change and drought, we'll work together to spark a second, more sustainable evergreen revolution. Together, we're improving Indian weather forecasting systems before the next monsoon season. We aim to help millions of Indian farmers' farming households save water and increase productivity. Improve food processing so crops don't spoil on the way to market. And enhance climate and crop forecasting to avoid losses that cripple communities and drive up food prices. And as part of our food security initiative, we're going to share India's expertise with farmers in Africa. And this is an indication of India's rise that we can now export hard-earned. Expertise to countries that see India as a model for agricultural development. It's another powerful example of how American and Indian partnership can address an urgent global challenge. Because the wealth of a nation also depends on the health of its people. We'll continue to support India's effort against diseases like tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS, and as global partners. We'll work to improve global health by preventing the spread of pandemic flu. And because knowledge is the currency of the 21st century, we will increase exchanges between our students. Our colleges and our universities, which are among the best in the world. As we work to advance our shared prosperity. We can partner to address a second priority, and that is our shared security. In Mumbai, I met with the courageous families and survivors of that barbaric attack. And here in Parliament, which was itself targeted because of the democracy it represents. We honor the memory of all those who have been taken from us, including American citizens on 26/11 and Indian citizens on September 11. This is the bond that we share. It's why we insist that nothing ever justifies the slaughter of innocent men, women, and children. It's why we're working together, more closely than ever. To prevent terrorist attacks and to deepen our cooperation even further. And it's why, as strong and resilient societies, we refuse to live in fear. We will not sacrifice the values and rule of law that defines us. And we will never waver in the defense of our people. America's fight against Al-Qaeda and its terrorist affiliates is why we persevere in Afghanistan. Where major development assistance from India has improved the lives of the Afghan people. We're making progress in our mission to break the Taliban's momentum. And to train Afghan forces so they can take the lead for their security. And while I have made it clear that American forces will begin the transition to Afghan responsibility next summer, I've also made it clear that America's commitment to the Afghan people will endure. The United States will not abandon the people of Afghanistan. Or the region to violent extremists who threaten us all. Our strategy to disrupt and dismantle and defeat Al-Qaeda. And its affiliates has to succeed on both sides of the border. And that's why we have worked with the Pakistani government to address the threat of terrorist networks in the border region. The Pakistani government increasingly recognizes that these networks are not just a threat outside of Pakistan, they are a threat to the Pakistani people, as well. They've suffered greatly at the hands of violent extremists over the last several years. And will continue to insist to Pakistan's leaders that terrorist safe havens within their borders are unacceptable. And that terrorists behind the Mumbai attacks must be brought to justice. We must also recognize that all of us have an interest in both an Afghanistan and a Pakistan. That is stable and prosperous and democratic, and India has an interest in that, as well. In pursuit of regional security, we will continue to welcome dialogue between India and Pakistan. Even as we recognize that disputes between your two countries can only be resolved by the people of your two countries.